All right, so I'm going to get started on my project, as most of you know. Like I showed you already, I'm going to start with this one, the Sarumans staff top. And then I might do Gandalf the gray, Gandalf the white as well. I'm going to start with this one right here. I got a few different things for that. I think for this one, I'm just going to use a piece of poster board that I have, or mat board. I also have just a cardboard box here that I might use as well, that you could use to make the pattern. But I have this already, so I'm going to draw the pattern out of this and use this. I also have an old block of balsa wood that I might use for some carving stuff. We will see where I go with that. But just, find different objects around the house that you could possibly use to create this. I'm thinking for Gandalf the white here. I might use some natural organic stuff, maybe with this one as well. We will see. But first I'm going to start off with this one. Like I said, for this, it's going to be pretty easy. I can pattern it off. I don't have the exact measurements for this, so I'm just going to eyeball and draw it by freestyle, what I think it should look like. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down here for a minute. Maybe you can see it. So right here, we've got that long straight edge, and then it curves in, notch. Okay, and then that in a place for the ball. So I'm just going to draw one piece of this as a template and use that to make the rest. All right, so there's where I'm going to start. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to use this edge right here as that edge, and I'm just going to draw in that top angle. Okay, I've already got a line here that I can use as my straight up and down line for the project. So I'll do that, and then I just got to figure out how far down I'm going to go with it. All right, so getting into all the build stuff. This is a dowel rod that I found in my garage from previous things. These are soccer balls that were going to be for my son's birthday party, which we didn't get to have because of this whole thing. So I was like, I'll put them to use. So I'm trying to find something that I can draw the arches with that are the size of the ball to fit in the center. I could have used a compass, but I was like, you know what? I'm doing this kind of organically, so I'm just going to find things that fit it. So I found some tape to use to draw that. Next, I'm trying to find for the other lower arcs there. So I went to the little bigger, so I grabbed a red Solo cup that I had that I used to mix some other things with. And then the bottom arc I went even larger, so I took one of my holding trays, magnetic holding trays, to draw that one. I didn't like the first arc, so I drew in a second one, and then I just chamfered the bottom there. The next step was to figure out the size of the dowel, which was 7/8, and to create the opening for that. So I did a measurement for that and drew that line in so that I could prep to start cutting out the template here. So like I said, this is just a template that I'm using. I erase the lines I don't need so I don't accidentally cut the wrong thing. And then I begin to start cutting the template out. Once I get this template cut out, then I'm going to use it to trace all the other pieces that I'm actually going to use. I didn't end up using this piece, I just made the template. So there's the template. I lay it on my poster board or my mat board, and I draw out the two sections I need for the cross of it. That's what I'm doing here. Get those all drawn out, and then I was like, oh, that's an old drawing of mine. I never finished, but then so I draw a little happy face. Everyone needs a little happiness right now. So then I spent quite a bit of time cutting it out. This is probably the longest part of the whole process. Cutting with a mat knife can be pretty tedious, and with this mat board, it's pretty thick and tough, so it takes a while to cut through, sometimes a couple passes to get it cut through. But you'll see once it's cut out, the whole unit will go together pretty fast here. So this is, like I said, the most tedious portion of it. All right, got one of them cut out, cutting out the second here, cutting out my happy little guy. Um, then finish cutting out the little notches. And what you see, once I get this cut out, I've got to fit these together. And you'll see how I do that by cutting these little slits. All right. Once I get this all cut out, I do notice there's a few pieces that need to be cleaned up a little bit. So just got to go back and do a few cleanups. All right. So here I'm going to put a slit in the top of one side of it. Okay. Halfway through, and then on the bottom, halfway through. All right. And then the two pieces will slide together. Okay. Once I get it slit together here, you'll see I pretty much have the top of the staff. The shaft fits in. Do a little quick dry fit. Dry fit the balls. Oh, the soccer ball didn't quite fit like I wanted. It's like, oh man. Well, I went and raided my kid's ball cabinet, really, and took one of the tennis balls, which fit a lot better for it. So I ended up using the tennis ball. Then put it in the vise really quick to glue it together. So that's it getting glued together. And then I just take some hot glue and run it around to make sure that it's going to be a little bit stronger around those edges. And I also glue the hot glue the tennis ball into it. All right. And once that's done, it's pretty much done besides paint. Once this is all glued in, I take it outside to paint. Unfortunately, so unfortunately, I didn't have film rolling when I painted this, but here it is complete, and it's pretty simple. Not the most intricate build I've ever done, but not bad for a quick 30-minute build of found things from around the house. So turned out pretty nice. So I'm gonna do a couple others for you that are things I find around the house. I think I'm gonna do some of Gandalf's staffs. I've got a couple different things, some old foam and maybe some balsa wood that I might do something and post for you guys to give you some more ideas for your project for the class. So have fun with the project, be creative, and see what's around the house that you can create things out of. All right.